afternoon, everyone. Thank you, dear speakers. Thank you, everyone, for setting time to be here this afternoon. I know that it's not an easy thing. I've seen a lot of other students going back to class, but you guys stayed here, so I really thank you for that. I especially want to say thank you to Mr. Watara because, you know, seeing that you put one seed in the sand and seeing it coming flowers, you know, not even trees, flowers. You know, he should be very proud of himself, and I really want you to clap your hands. Okay, so I am Wilfred Asi, so I'm the founder of Mental Afro. Mental Afro is a global platform which we're setting up, you know, aiming at giving a positive image and also making black people excellent. I'm not working on Africa, I'm sorry. Maybe you might not be happy about it. I'm working on global. I'm working on the black community, you know, so I'm going beyond Africa. You know, all the work we're doing, you know, is aiming at helping people in the Caribbean, you know, in the US, in France, Australia, that are black people, because we all have something in common. It's true, it's Africa, it's the black color, but more importantly, it's the mindset, okay? So this is what we do, and in terms of career, you know, I quite like this school because, you know, I know that some of my junior brothers, you know, might come from here because they did preparatory school in ENSEA. So I have my blood brothers and sisters here, so I'm very happy to be here. And also have a lot of friends that, you know, are coming from this school. Ivory, I also hired Faustin Karamoko, you know, he was my brand manager at some point. So I work a lot with people from G school, and I'm very proud of, you know, the competency that you guys have. And then in my career, so I was among the 37 young graduates. They used to call us high potential young graduates, you know, who got hired by Unilever in Africa, you know, because they wanted to launch a program they were calling Future Leader Program. Okay, so there were like 30,000 people who applied in sub-Saharan Africa for this opportunity, development opportunity, and then we were 37. I was even with one of your, you know, former students, part of this. So starting my career here in Unilever in the office in Mercredi as a brand manager for 2 years, and you know, first time English clearly helped me was that, you know, in the management training program, there's a clear roadmap in terms of what you do, what you project you work on, you know, on the first 6 months or 9 months, you know, and so on and so forth. And I was successful into the first 2 years, and I had to go for an international assignment. This is part of the program because they need to get you out of your comfort zone, your country, send you somewhere, and then you prove there that you are good, and then they appoint you as a manager. So obviously in Ivory Coast, I think we were 10 of us. But when it comes to going for an opportunity, for example, in a country like South Africa, it's a country where people speak English. So in all the criteria to say, okay, we have an opportunity for a management training to come to go to South Africa, who among the people that are here, we can go for that. So they check who satisfies to the normal skills set, behaviors, attitude, everything. So track and record in terms of do you do your job well and everything, and then can the person actually work there in terms of number one, international culture, but more importantly, can the person interact with English speaking people? Okay, so that was a plus that I had. So English helped me there to be there. And then going back to how I started with English, and the previous speaker was even talking about it. My story with English started especially, I think, in the last year of primary school, where, you know, I got exactly the marks that were needed to go into, you know, into college. Yeah? And it was quite a frustration for me because my friend who got higher marks starting, you know, playing among themselves and not with us, you know, so it was quite a frustration. So I was like, okay, fine. So we're going to our school. They're going to be new subjects, okay, like English, history, you know, quite a lot of things. And I'll definitely make a difference there. So this is how everything started. So First year in college, listening to music. I was listening to Boys to Men with the lyrics. Boys to Men, they are quite old singers. I'm not sure you guys can know them here, but Tupac Shakur too. So quite similar things. And the message to you is that if you see common things among the two of us, clearly note it down, because it means it's a human truth. It's something that's going to help you, in your career. So I was listening to music, clearly also listening to BBC radio to work on my listening. I was very good at languages in general, also good in math and physics and everything. And when I was about to go to high school, people were asking me, go do language studies. I was like, no, I know where I'm going. I want to have an international career beyond languages. I want to be somebody who will be working in business, international business and everything. So I clearly carried on. And then, in what we call troisième and terminal, there's the oral test in English that you take. I remember that the first 5 minutes I started talking, the person who was assessing me asked me, okay, no need to waste time, go home. Okay? And I got 18 out of 20 twice. So BEPC and then back, okay? So I was quite confident that I'm bilingual and everything. And then clearly you go to ENSEA, and then after that you go to the UK for because ESCA, at the end you go to the UK for an exchange program. So I got there, and then when those English youth were speaking, I was like, huh? Because I wasn't getting the accent, and more importantly, my listening was not very strong. Okay, because you can put accent and everything into the whole listening skills. I've had the first speaker talk about it. Okay, so it wasn't good. And as somebody who is very passionate, since high school about my personal development, I was like, oh, this is a gap. I want to have a career in international companies and everything. I have a gap here, so I need to solve it. I was lucky. I had the grace to have my dad who was living there, since 1992 something. So I came back with my friends from school, and I went back to the UK. I attended, I took English classes for like almost a year, and I was doing some student jobs. I wanted to do another master's, beyond ESCA, because like I said, I wanted to have an international career. So for me, it was like, ESCA is not enough, let me get another one. So I took the IELTS. I think the first speaker talked about it. I got 7 out of 9, I think, in terms of overall marks, so it was quite good. And while I was getting ready to go into university, because the university was asking this as one key criteria, if you're not coming from a country where, if you're coming from a country like here, where your native language is French, you need to take those tests before you go to university, because at the end of the day, you need to be able to talk to people and also take the classes, okay? So I did that. By the time I was about to enroll, and then there was Unilever that launched this program, management training. What I heard about it is that, okay, they can take you in Ivory Coast, and later on you can end up being the head of Africa or work in Ghana or different countries. I'm like, okay, fine. So I applied for the job. I came back in Abidjan here, took the test and everything, and it was successful. So I said, oh, no need to go and spend like £40,000 or $40,000, for another master's, because this Unilever is a school, okay? Unilever, Nestle, all those big companies, they're like another school. So no need to go and spend big money on something else. So I joined Unilever, and then like I said, it helped me. The English helped me beyond my functional skills, behavioral skills and everything, to be able to be selected. The first one, to be sent to South Africa for a national assignment. And there's somebody that I know who was also in marketing, who was not very good at English, okay? But the guy was very good technically, but he was working twice harder than me, because all the documents were all in English, and you need to be ready for that. You will get to companies and everything will be English. And he had to take a dictionary, it was quite painful for me, But I look at him and say, I'm proud of you, because it's not late. It is never late, to learn. The guy was giving himself extra effort. And he ended up also being sent later on to South Africa. And ended up a bit after that, be a marketing director in Nigeria. So you see, for somebody who had no clue on English, he decided to work harder beyond the normal work, try to catch up, and then he's been able to be there. So that's also one message for you. Don't think, okay, I'm not good at it, I'll focus on my math, economics and everything. No, there's always time. Choose it, okay? So that's the thing. And then when I got to South Africa, I was there for 7 months initially. After 3 months, the company said, okay, listen, we want to keep Wilfried. The guys I always talk about this thing because it's one of my achievements, you know. The guys in Abidjan were saying, okay, Wilfried needs to come back. We need him here. The guys in South Africa said, no, we need Wilfried there. So the boss of marketing for Africa said, listen, I'm not giving you Wilfried, I'm taking you Wilfried. So I was a manager level 1. And the guy who was the vice president, so he was level 4. You can imagine this. He took me as his assistant, and I was reporting to this guy. So you can imagine the whole development opportunity, you know. So it was way better, and he shipped me in Nigeria. Because for him, and he explained it to me later, it's like, before he would give me a promotion, he wanted to send me in a very chaotic environment. You know, Nigeria is not like here. You go to the market, it's the mess, it's chaos, okay? But for him, if I was able to succeed in Nigeria, it means I can succeed everywhere. Send me there, another time, a country where people speak English, isn't it? They speak Pidgin, so their English is very broken in some time, but that's another experience. So I was there. There's something about Nigerians that there's this, we call it fighting spirit they have. You know, there were like 200 millions, and there are no opportunities for everybody. So every day they have to fight, and then they bring you into that environment, and you also need to fight. If you don't speak English, if you're not good at knowing how, he was saying it, like having expression, you know, on how, you know, to get along with people and everything. If my English was just a student English, I wouldn't make it. So I've been able to succeed there, went back to South Africa, and then the vice president told me, listen, Wilfried, there's a marketing manager role who will open in South Africa. In Africa, you are the best fit for this. This role will be based in South Africa, but you will be working in countries like Congo, RDC, DRC, Cameroon, and everything. At the same time, Zimbabwe, Mauritius, you know, quite, you know, a lot of countries speaking English and French. So for such a role, definitely they will not give it to somebody who only speaks English, or somebody who only speaks French, and somebody who has proven record. So it was like, you're the best fit for this because you work in South Africa, you work in Nigeria, you were successful, your English is good, you know how to deal with people and everything. So you come back as a marketing manager. So I went back as a marketing manager, and I'm also proud to talk about it because in South Africa, we were 8 brand managers. And I can tell you, among the 8 brand managers, anyway, people coming from, you know, Imperial College from London, you know, the schools that I wanted to attend initially when I finished ESCA, the people that paid for this, Nigerian, you know, big millionaires, children that paid for this, we were all together, 8, and I've been chosen among those ones and promoted. You see this? So it's quite an achievement, okay? But clearly because your English is good and you speak French, you know, you have more, comme on dit en français, tu as plus de cordes à ton arc, donc tu es plus, you know, yes, sorry?
More string to your bow.
Yes, yes, more string to your bow, yeah, sure. Cool. So that's another teacher for me too. So always down to learn. Okay, so South Africa was great, and at some point I wanted to come back because I was there 2014, and then we were hearing Ivory Coast economic booming, things coming back to normal, you know, everything. And I was like, oh, I have such an experience. I don't want to stay there. I'm also a patriot, you know. And being a patriot, I want to tell you guys, is clearly putting your experience, your knowledge to the country, you know, helping the country grow and develop. So I said, let me come back. So I came back, but this time for Friesland Campina. Friesland Campina, you know, is a Dutch company who owns the brand Bonnet Rouge, you know, the milk dairy company, Bonnet Rouge, Bonnet Bleu, you know all these brands, right? Okay. So they bought a factory from their previous competitor, Olam, and they were looking for a marketing head who would handle the whole of West Africa and also Central Africa. So I took all the interviews. I mean, I was taken through all the interviews, and then they hired me. Came back. I was in the board of directors. I remember that the youngest director, just before me, there was like a 15 years age gap. So when in meetings, I would even call them uncle, you see this. And I got there, some people that interviewed me when I wanted to join Unilever. So they were managers already. They interviewed me, and finally we end up being together in the boardroom. I'm handling marketing, they're handling supply chain or whatever. And then we need to talk and challenge each other as colleagues. You understand this? So English helped me clearly have speed. Okay? You need to note it down. English will give you speed. And I finally end up saying, English, it's like it's a passport. It's a passport even stronger than your green passport that you have. It's a way stronger passport because like I was in Friesland Campina, and then there was I was chosen as one of the top 30 managers for Africa. And in this development program, they sent all of us to the Netherlands to have a conference, training and everything, and then there was a presentation to the CEO of the company. So I've been chosen to present to the CEO of the whole Friesland Campina. You know, it's a worldwide company. It's like Unilever or Nestle or whatever, okay? And I was among the board of directors because the managing director obviously couldn't take that space. He had to give it to one of the directors. And I was chosen because among all my colleagues, I was the one who could express himself in English properly. So I presented the whole plan, and then I got the investment signed and everything. I was put into a key talent schemes. I was sent to Dubai, to sometimes Netherlands, meeting. Sometimes I was into trainings where I was the only black with 30 big head, you know, from the world, and I was the only black there. I remember after one session, we're having like, we call it speed dating. So clearly you have close interaction with some people, and they were giving me the feedback on how I performed during the whole session. And a white lady was telling me, yes, I really like the way you were asking questions even when you didn't know, or you know, you were feeling confident and everything. I was like, okay, this is not an achievement. I'm somebody just like you. I'm in the meeting. That's it. So I just say what I know and whatever, you know, you understand? So not complex. No complex. I'm black. I also have a brain. I know how to speak the English, but they were clearly surprised that somebody will come from deep Africa, Africa's French-speaking country, and then will be able to express himself like this, you know, in an audience. So you see how English gives you exposure, you know, and gives you also respect from other people. And I'll build on that. You know, I'll give you a secret. A lot of the roles, job openings in West Africa, Central Africa, or even sometimes Africa, are for people who speak both English and French. I don't know if you guys know that. But when we go compete with Ghanaian or, I don't know, Nigerian who only speak English, they have one broken arms. We have the two arms. You understand? So we are more privileged when we speak our French and also speak English on top of it. Because all those roles we're going to take it. And I've seen it so many times. Managing director of previous Unilever, you know, was a guy from Ivory who was here, and then was speaking both French and English. There was a lady in Ghana who was the managing director of Ghana. Before they took her as the managing director of West Africa, what they did, she knew how to speak French. She was a Ghanaian, but she learned French. So it gave her the opportunity. If you like only English, only French, you are screwed. It means your opportunities will be limited. Okay? So guys, I don't want to be very long. Clearly, my message to you will be that even if you don't know right now how to even write a sentence or do whatever, the previous speakers talk about it. There are different skills in English. You take speaking, writing, you know, listening, reading, and you start working on this thing. Today there's the internet. You know, I want to tell you something. I have a vision. I have a vision. And the vision that I have is that the world's going to be an English word. We've been having the fear of Chinese. You know, now you in Paris or sometimes some airports, people also speak Chinese. Chinese is coming, but no, English will be the language. See here even yourself. Chile for Chile. You know what word Chile means? It's coming from English. Okay? Sometimes you even speak and say, let's do it sharp, sharp. Sharp, sharp is English. So a lot of English words are coming into your French. Your French is going to disappear. But I will end up on this note. Learn English. Be bilingual. Yeah? Have speed. But please, don't forget your July, your Ati, your Ajipro, whatever, okay? because this is what belongs also to us, okay? So thank you very much.
I told you. Thank you very much, Mr. BEPC. Now we're going to pass to the session of questions and